Okay, so this is my 1961 80 horsepower Corvair. It's got the single valve springs. That's how you know it's an 80 horse 61. Also because of the numbers on the side right here. So I don't know if this is the original cylinder head or not. I assume it is. I don't think this engine's ever been apart before. And there was nothing wrong with the engine other than a lifter on this side. Actually, as a matter of fact, this lifter. The reason why this head was being changed was because of all this. So when I first bought the car and I pulled the turkey roaster, or whatever you want to call the fan cover, off, this was full up to here with junk. And when all that stuff was taken off, you had aluminum oxidation. That white powder was built up pretty high. So I tried to clean it out the best I could, and it was actually a real strenuous operation. So what I wound up doing was I had a soda blaster from Harbor Freight, which we filled with Harbor Freight's soda media, and I blasted all this out, and it got pretty clean. But if you look at certain angles, you can still see there's quite a bit of that white stuff still in there. You can see through here too. So all of this fin here, this cylinder that sits here, the top fin of that cast iron cracked off because the oxidation got so bad that it forced its way out. But the engine ran perfectly, and these valves are all still sealed very well. I just did a test on them where I filled the intake with liquid and waited, and I had no seepage at all. And then I did the same for the exhaust tubes, no seepage, and it ran great. But again, my concern is, if you see here, you have airflow that's supposed to go all the way through the head. And on this side, you don't have that anymore. I have a little bit up here, but this is all solid. So you're getting no cooling around the combustion chamber on this side. And that can lead to a lot of issues. I just didn't want to be running a car that had such a reduced cooling capacity, especially since I assume other people that have 80 horsepower Corvairs, you really got to push it to keep up with traffic. If you're driving it on the highway like I am, you're using every last bit of that 80 horsepower. So that's that. So this is going to be a collector's item now in my garage, and that's why I cleaned it up and then just sprayed a little WD-40 inside after I dried everything out, in case I ever do want to get another 80 horsepower head and possibly reuse some of this stuff. I will say though that in this area, this is very dark. This is the exhaust valve. Here's the tube, and this is the exhaust valve for that cylinder. And Corvairs don't use a valve stem seal on the exhaust valves, and I assume that what's happening is that when this valve is open and it's letting exhaust out, it's leaking past this seal and causing burning of oil in this area, because everything else looks nice and clean. So that's what's going on there. So, but other than that, the head looks perfect.